Good morning. What an appropriate song. May I walk is kind of my prayer today. Ah, it shows how much we all love this church because it is full of people that have been here for 2 days or 7 days working to tear it down and put it back together and welcome the community. So thank you to all of you. Let's see, where am I? Okay, I walked up here. I'll get to her later. Well, good morning to all of you and to those of you that are watching us from your homes. We love you and we appreciate you. And if you're here for the first time, we do have an ambassador back there. Stella, you better wave your arms. That's Stella. She's one of our board members, and she is an ambassador. And she has a packet of information, a coffee mug, and she can answer questions that you have. So, see Stella after the service. Would you please check in on Facebook, guilt all your friends and family because they're not here, and turn off your phone. We're going to have a meditation. These beautiful flowers were provided by an anonymous congregant, and we are so thankful. They are in appreciation of all of the volunteers here at Unity. And Susan Dempsey, I'm surprised to see you here today, but I'm surprised to see me here today too. And these flowers go to you after the service, so please take them home. Please join me in our mission statement. The words are up on the screen. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. And let's speak the affirmation together. Immersing myself in the beauty of nature, I experience the omnipresence of God. The beauty of nature is everywhere. Such beauty is found in small spaces, like a rooftop garden or a backyard pond. And of course, nature is alive and abundant in the immense display of a towering forest or in the subtle quiet of a field of grass. Whether I am at the beach or in the mountains, in the desert or in the plains, when I am in close contact with nature, I am aware of being surrounded and enfolded in the very life of God. Spirit's breath is in the wind. Spirit's substance is in the soil. In nature, I see, hear, and respond to the omnipresent Spirit of God in all its diverse expressions. I experience the glory of God pouring forth from every tree, every flower, from every brook. The scripture for today is Psalm 98, 7-9. Please join me. Let the sea roar and all that fills it, in the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord. For he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and with equity. Let's repeat the affirmation together, please. Immersing myself in the beauty of nature, I experience the omnipresence of God. As the prayer bowl rings, please hold the following people in your prayerful thoughts for their highest and best: Wanda, Bill, Pam, Steve, Frida, Mariah, Jessica, Judy, Helen, Ken, Larry, Rod, Reverend Paul, Beth, and anyone else who comes to your mind. Let the vibrations and sounds from the prayer bowl surround and embrace you, reminding us that we are energy beings with spirit living in us, as us, and through us. Take a deep breath, hold, and exhale. Focus your attention on your Christ consciousness, being grateful for its lessons in love. Take a deep breath, hold, and exhale. If thoughts distract you, let them float away as if a butterfly was floating by. I invite you to place your hand over your heart, feeling your heartbeat and accepting that you are the essence of God. Take a deep breath and exhale. To become more present, we begin to relax from the crown of your head, moving down to your eyes, ears, cheeks, lips, tongue, and jaw. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Roll them to release tension. Follow your attention down your arms, elbows, wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax down your spine and lower back. Relax your thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Take a deep breath and exhale. We pray for the health, wisdom, and peace of mind for all the persons on our prayer list, for their caretakers, for ourselves, for our families, our friends, our neighbors. Our prayers for peace and abundance surround our spiritual community, our city, our state, our nation, all nations. We visualize peace among all people, all countries, all governments. We know the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient God is always, always with us, guiding us, loving us, protecting us. We surround with love all our congregants here in the sanctuary and those viewing from their homes. Our gratitude overflows for the blessings, the healing, the love that is always present. We are so blessed by the nature that enfolds us, sustains us, and nourishes us. As we rest in the silence, recall the affirmation, immersing ourselves in the beauty of nature, we experience the omnipresence of God. Breathe it in, feel the presence.
didn't see ya. Nope. He's like, nope, not me. Yeah, that's right. Good morning. It's so good to see so many of us here this morning, especially those of us who were here for the weekend and possibly here for the entire week. It's just so good to see everybody. I am going to grab a stool. I know. It's like almost totally great. So I'm thrilled. Yeah. No more falling down the steps. No more tricks like that. So Unity as a whole has an Earth Care program. And for that program, we need to have an Earth Care statement. So I came up with this and see what you think of it. In recognizing our oneness with everything, we make the commitment to do whatever we can to be better stewards of our planet and to care for all of God's amazing creation. Additions, subtractions. Okay, so we will adopt this as our mission for our Earth Care program, and we'll send that up to Unity Worldwide Ministries. And I say this today because we have just come out of our biggest event that we have, and that is our Planet Unity event. And we are going to wait until next week to acknowledge everybody, because there's a lot of people to acknowledge, and to tell you the end result of the fundraiser that we had. But I just have to say right now, thank you, because this has been by far the best Earth Day celebration that we've ever had, and the best team of people that we have ever had. Yes, it was amazing. Amazing all week. Lisa did want me to share that we do have some t-shirts left. Here's one style. The other style is this, and they're $15. Lisa is in the very back there, so if you would like a t-shirt, please feel free to see Lisa on that. Our mission as Planet Unity, our mission is to create a connection with our community by raising awareness of the importance of the environment through education, music, and fun, and we did that. And, I know if you didn't get to come this year, make it a point to come next year, because it's an amazing thing to be a part of. We had a lot of educational things going on the weekend. I got to attend some of those, and it's so fun to learn more about how we can take care of our environment. So in continuing our celebration of Earth Day, today I want to focus on and honoring Mother Earth. I'm going to be sharing with you advice and lessons that we can learn from various aspects of nature. How many of us love nature? Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? Who doesn't feel good when you go out on a day like today and just be in the midst of nature? It's so incredibly beautiful. I read somewhere that humans must live in harmony with nature and seek to learn from its wise and mysterious ways. And in Job, the scripture says, "But ask the beasts, and they will teach you, the birds of the air, and they will tell you, or the plants of the earth, and they will teach you, and the fish of the sea will declare to you." So I'm going to do this today along with some of our 5, I like to call them guiding principles of unity. They are, you say them with me if you like, God is, I am, I ask, I pray, and I act. So God is, when we look at creation, I can't fathom anybody not realizing that there is a divine intelligence that is behind all of this. It's unfathomable to me to even think that. To me, you cannot watch what is happening before our very eyes right now in nature, and that has been happening for billions of years, and not believe that there is an intelligence behind it all, within it all, and as it all. And I don't know about you guys, but it is truly awesome to me. I mean, don't you just stand in awe and wonder of what happens every year? And you know what? We don't have to do anything about most of it. It just happens, which is absolutely amazing to watch this glorious life emerging right before our very eyes. This that we call God in Unity is the creative intelligence that lies behind all of creation. God saw all that God made, and God declared that it was all. That it was all good. Yes. So God is, I am. I am here to care for this creation. I am here to participate in helping this creation to be all that it can be by my presence here. I am a co-creator. So I am, the I amness of me is what can guide me in doing what it needs to be done to help. And again, I know that we're doing that. Okay, so God is I am. Now, I truly do believe, and I use this all the time in a celebration of life, that nature is one of our greatest teachers. And a celebration of life is another name for a memorial service or a funeral. We like to call it a celebration of life because for us, when we do one, that's what it is. We celebrate the person's life. And I always use the analogy of a tree. And, in the winter, if we didn't know any better, we would look at the trees in winter and go, oh my gosh, they have died. If we didn't know better, we would look at that tree and think that it died. But we know that what happens in the spring is that life comes forth in even more glory than the preceding year, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's like watching these little buds this past month, and then all of a sudden the leaves and the flowers and weren't the red buds gorgeous? The dogwoods that we have out front, it's like, whoa, this life just whooshes back. And the reality is that the life was always there. It had simply changed form. The life in the tree had simply changed form. And I always say that the same is true of us, that when we leave this body, that reality of us lives on, and we have simply changed form. So we're going to talk a little bit more about trees and what are some of the lessons that trees might give us. So one of the big lessons of trees is to let go and let God. Yes? Okay, in late fall, we are guided to learn acceptance and non-resistance. A green leaf doesn't resist that it's going to turn red or it's going to turn orange. And a tree doesn't resist the leaves falling off of it. I read that they stand deeply rooted in the ground with their vulnerability out in the open and branches spread wide, surrendering to the universe. Just allowing. Are we good at that? Just allowing whatever needs to be released to just let go. Are we like this sometimes? Yeah, sometimes we are. That's normal in our humanness. This is why we do what we do. This is why we continue to talk about things, so that we can remember, that we can trust, that we can let go, and we can let God. And it's as though the tree is just saying, do what you will with me, because I trust that whatever it is for my highest good and for the highest good of the greater whole. So a huge lesson from the trees is to trust that letting go may mean the end of something, and usually that is the case, but it always means that new life will emerge in some way, even unto death. Life continues, new life emerges, and we get through it ultimately. And that in the moment of letting go, that just as everything is encoded in the tree for that new life to emerge, everything is already encoded in us and in our life for whatever that next thing is that is there to emerge from us. So trust and let go and let God. Huge lesson from the trees. Now, what we have also been learning there's the fall trees, for a long time, is that trees actually take care of each other, even ones that aren't their own species. And if you've never read the book, The Hidden Life of Trees, it's just a beautiful book about the interconnectedness of trees and what lies underground and how they communicate with each other. When a tree has something that may attack it, it will send a signal out to other trees to let them know, so that they can do what they need to do to protect themselves, which is totally fascinating to me. So they have this really awesome communication. And, trees also offer themselves as a home for many creatures, large and minuscule, from big animals, in the jungle to just minuscule things that exist in trees. And a big lesson to me for us here is that we are not to take care of those that are just like us. We are not to be a home to just those who are like us, but we are here literally to take care of each other. And we are here to protect and to care for those who are less vulnerable, as, very much to open up our arms. And we do a great job of that with our crisis cold weather shelter, don't we? That is a way for us to really open up our arms and to say, we see you, we love you, and we are here for you. It doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter what got you here. We're open and we're here for you. I love that. More advice from a tree. Sink your roots into the earth. And I don't know, I've just started reading a book called Earthing, and it's a really fascinating book about the electromagnetic energy of the earth and how healing that it can be for us, not only physically healing, but mental, emotional. Go out and put your feet in the grass. What? Go out and lay in the grass. Go out and let yourself just absorb that electromagnetic energy of the earth. Also, sink your roots into the earth. Stand tall and proud. Be flexible when the winds and storms of life come. I think that is a huge lesson, because many times when the winds and the storms of life come, what do? We we stand still, but when we're more flexible and we can allow, again, so much of this is about allowing and letting go and letting God and trusting. And the other one is drink plenty of water. That's just good advice, isn't it? Drink plenty of water. Okay, so the next one that I was guided to was lessons from a garden. I love gardens. Did you want to say something? Generally, bare feet is the best. Yep. Yes. We're having a... Okay, if you're allergic to the grass, no bare feet. Okay, so gardens are incredibly metaphysical for us, because gardens represent that we have faith in tomorrow. How many of us plant gardens of any kind? Oh, I love it. Don't you love your gardens? Oh, it's so much fun. So what we do is we plant seeds today, and we know that if we plant cucumber seeds, we're going to grow cucumbers. If we plant tomato seeds, we're gonna get tomatoes, right? If we plant peppers, we're gonna get peppers. We have faith that whatever is planted is what is gonna grow. And we don't question the time that it takes, do we? We just know we're gonna put it in the ground, we're gonna do what we need to do, and it's going to show up whenever it shows up, because we know there's a gestation period. So we don't dig up the seed to see if anything is happening. If we dug up the seed, we could possibly stunt its ability to produce what it's there to produce, right? So we water the seeds, we feed them, we keep the weeds out, we allow the innate intelligence of the seed to do what it will do in its timing. So what this represents for us is that we plant the seeds of our dreams and desires. And what gardens teach us is that ours then is to nourish these seed ideas with our faith. And we do that through things we've been talking about, through visioning, through affirmations, through meditation, through prayers. And then we trust the timing of the unfoldment. That's interesting, isn't it? We're good at that, aren't we? In other words, we do not start pushing and manipulating our desires and our dreams. We allow them. So I want to share with you some lyrics from a song by Stowe Good. If you have not heard Stowe Good, listen to them. This particular album, Love Lives On, is great. They have beautiful spiritual songs, and they have just hilarious songs. So this song is called Step Away from the Seed. So it goes kind of like this. The scene of the crime, Friday at 5, The sirens were screaming, police cars arrived. She was holding a shovel, looking guilty as sin, caught in the act, about to dig in. The officer shouted, "Put your hands in the air. Would you mind explaining what you're doing here? This is looking suspicious. You're covering your tracks. This better be good, ma'am. Just give me the facts." She said, "I planted my dreams here, but fear they won't grow. If I dig them up, sir, then surely I'll know if they have taken root yet or turned all to weed." The officer shot back, "Ma'am, step away from the seed." But she said, "These seeds are my windfall, my ace in the hole, my hope and my future. I need some control. They're my major investment, my 401k. I'm protecting my stash, dude. Get out of my way. It's my victory garden, but it's growing too slow. Can't stand all this waiting. I just got to know. I'm begging, I'm pleading, just one little peek." The lawman repeated, "Ma'am, step away from the seed." So he said, "I'm not a farmer, but I know too well you mess with your seeds and your crop goes to heck." And all that manure, all that stuff we go through, well, it helps them to grow. You water, you weed them, and then let them go. So that's the whole story. It's true every part. The big magic happens alone in the dark. You dream it, you plan it, and then let it be. So do yourselves a favor, y'all. Step away from your seed. It's a great song, isn't it? I love it so much. So step away from the seed, allow the timing of it. And secondly, in the garden, one of the important things that we do is we keep the weeds out, right? Because the weeds can really stunt the growth of what we've planted. So what that means for us is that we stay awake and we stay aware. And when stinking thinking comes along, we tell it to get behind us. That's where the denials come in. You have no power over me. Get behind me. We've talked a lot about that. I absolutely love how metaphorical a garden is for us. And you know what I've noticed is that we always harvest way more than we sow. So I looked up, how many cucumbers does a seed manifest? About 20, one little seed. How many tomatoes does one little seed? 20 to 30. How many cherry tomatoes? About 300. And you know what that is? It's grace. Charles Fillmore, divine grace, is that you never reap the full harvest of your error thinking, and you always reap more good than you sow. And the great news about that is, God, don't be so hard on yourself when that stinking thinking comes along, because it's going to happen to all of us. We're all going to go down the path, aren't we, of not trusting, of, letting that old stuff in. But the grace says that even when we have those thoughts, that God, the intelligence, is always reaching further to us than we ever have to reach to it. And all we have to do is just get back on track. Just get back on track and start, doing what you need to do to take care of those seeds. So be like a garden. Plant your dreams, the seeds of your dreams and desires in a fertile mind, a mind that is open to possibilities and potentialities, that we get out of the how. We open ourselves up to something better than even our minds can imagine. And when needed, weed out the stinking thing, kind of thing. So those are really our third and fourth principles. I ask and I pray and meditate. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to look at is stars. I love stars. Do you love stars? Yeah, it's amazing. Stars bring beauty and light in the darkness. And for millennia, stars have been used as a way of navigating the seas, guiding humanity, over some of the most precarious and perilous environments on Earth, and in particular, the ocean. And so in this way, the stars are parallel to our inner light, to that spiritual guidance, to whether you want to call it spiritual guides or angels, whatever. What I absolutely know is there's something that is guiding us. I absolutely know that because I have experienced that in my life, where I know that something beyond just me has made me make that turn, or has just put a message in my mind, or that I think about somebody and all of a sudden they show up, or the many, many, many things that happen. How many of us have had experiences like that? I'm thinking probably all of our hands can go up on that. Just recognizing that we have that spiritual guidance. And the really awesome thing about recognizing it is that the more we recognize it, the more keenly we are attuned to it, the more we see it. And here's the thing, it's always there. It's never not there. But we get so, like we're the horses with blinders. We get so focused on just what we can see and what we can see that is quote unquote real, that we don't see all this other stuff that is always showing up around us. Which takes me, I'm going to stop there for a second. I'm going to go back there. Because another lesson from the stars is to shine your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light. That's Karen Drucker. We can look out at the night sky and we can see one star. Doesn't that thrill you? I love when I go out at night and I see one star. It just makes you smile, doesn't it? And that represents it, instead of succumbing to the darkness of the world, that we're willing to bring our light. And how much more magnificent when you see a night sky like this with just how many, you can't even begin to think how many stars are in the night sky. The magnificence of that, and the reality, and we talk about this a lot, that don't discount yourself because you matter. And when each one of us here, if this room was totally dark, just black dark, and one person lit a candle, that would be great. But if every single one of us lit a candle, what a difference that would make, right? And so it's a beautiful analogy for how important it is how we show up in our daily lives, and what message we're bringing with our life, and what message we're bringing with the things that we're saying, the things that we're focused on. So it reminds us that our unique light matters. Now, going back to trusting that spiritual guidance, the next thing I was guided to was to talk about the wind. I couldn't find a picture of wind. Isn't that weird? I could find pictures of the effects of wind. But dang it, I couldn't find a picture of wind. I saw there was a big cloud, like a cartoon cloud blowing. Okay, Okay, the wind reminds us that not all things that exist can be seen or heard. It reminds us that some things need to be felt, and to not be limited by your five senses. This goes back to this whole idea of trusting that spiritual guidance, those hits that we get. Use your intuition and practice believing in the things that you feel. Don't discount those things. Don't discount what your gut is saying, even though someone else may be saying something else, because that's your inner guidance. How many of us have discounted something that we knew was right for us because other people were telling us? Anybody ever do that? And what did we learn from that? To trust, right? To trust that something that we cannot see, that we can't even define, and yet it's there, and it's here every single moment. Okay, a few more. Just to close out, I got these off the internet. Advice from a river: go with the flow. Slow down and meander. Oh, slow down and meander. Isn't it nice when you just kind of have those days where you can slow down and just meander? Be thoughtful of those downstream. Again, always be aware, this life isn't just about you. We are connected. It's about everyone, and be aware of that. Immerse yourself in nature. I hope you go out and do that today, and go around the obstacles. That's a big one, isn't it? Instead of going, that thing's in my way, I can't. Go around him. I love the scripture. It's, you can say to this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea. To me, that's that metaphysical aspect of the mountain is simply what we think of as an obstacle. Just Tell it to get out of there. And it's amazing what will just fall away. Advice from a hawk. Spread your wings, soar to new heights, be a keen observer, swoop down on opportunities, rise above it, and the sky's the limit. And the last one is an owl. I just thought that was the cutest little picture. Isn't that cute? An owl is be who you are. Authentic, that's our mission statement, be authentically all that we came here to be. Stay focused. Trust in a wise friend. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of wise friends right here. It's so wonderful to be in a group of like-minded people and to be with people who have such great innate wisdom. Glide through the dark times, be observant, and remember that life is a hoot. So I encourage you, go out into nature. Let nature speak to you. Start looking differently than you have up to this point. And go out and see, what lessons does nature have to teach me? And I would love it if you would share some of those with me. Because when I do a talk on this again, I would love to have what that wisdom was that spoke to you. So go out and have fun today. Just enjoy this beautiful day. I think it's supposed to be a nice day today. Go out in your bare feet and get on that grass and just have a beautiful, beautiful and blessed week. And I say to you, namaste, namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, as our band is coming forth and our ushers are coming forward, we have this opportunity to give of our treasure to all that we are here to do and to be together. It's interesting because next week